Good morning. My name is Lorrie. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. I have a couple topics to talk about today. Welcome to Blabfest Friday, where I just kind of ramble on. Hopefully I won't bore you into a coma. My first topic is brought to you by my friend Barb, who showed this to me. This is a Gutermann. It's an almost empty spool. But it has a fantastic trick that goes with it. So let me tell you about it as I pop up some pictures. Did you know that you can pop off the bottom of these thread spools where you catch threads when you put it back on the rack, and you can put needles up inside? It was designed to be a needle keeper. Now, this does not work with other things that look similar. Like this one is a sulky spool and the ends do not come off of it. But a Gutermann spool, and I have a whole bunch of those there. I think because my end on this one is punched out from being on a machine, I'm going to glue something over that and put that in my travel kit with my needles in, since my needles look like this at the moment, and I am afraid of being stuck. Thank goodness I had a tetanus shot when my granddaughter was born. So thank you, Barb, for sharing that trick. That is fantastic. Next topic, the car quilt. It is getting there slowly but surely. I only need 4 more blocks. I have them cut. Here they are, waiting to be assembled as leader enders this week as I work through some other things. I also have made progress on my Valentine quilt. Barb decided that she did want to fill in around her geese on her baby quilt. So I had to get that Valentine quilt off there. It had been laying on the machine, ready to go for 2 weeks. I hadn't made any progress. It took me 1 hour and 20 minutes to quilt the whole thing, and that included 3 thread changes. So I don't know why I was putting it off, but here it is, waiting for me to finish sewing down the binding. I am doing that by hand so that I can do it while I watch TV in the evenings. And I have a nice light there, right there by my chair, so that I can see and get it done. And it will, hopefully that will be finished so I can share that with you, including the label, I hope, by next Friday. I have been working diligently on my Murder Mystery in Grease quilt. Well, not diligently, but as soon as I am done here, I have the fabric sitting on the ironing board waiting to cut and assemble those 4 blocks so that I can post them on their Facebook page. I don't think I can show them in general. I still need, I'm unclear about that. There are some rules. I don't know. I am enjoying that though, because the quilts are beautiful. One of my friends is making the Yellowstone quilt they offered from last year, or year before last. Beautiful, beautiful work. Not my typical blocks, and they're artsy, but I am enjoying that process. And now we are to the quilt that you are probably sick of hearing about, the weather quilt. I did get January all pieced together. We were in West Virginia the whole time, so the whole month is West Virginia blocks. I have chosen blocks based on my location so that I know where I'm getting my weather reports from. So the West Virginia blocks, I was in January, we were in West Virginia the whole time. We didn't travel anywhere, we were home. So these blocks all represent West Virginia weather. Here are some of my favorites as far as contrasting colors based on that little chart, because the whole quilt is based on the colors I chose for my little chart. But in February, we did do some traveling. So we stayed one night with friends. That is this quilt. And the block is called No Room at the Inn. So when we go to visit our friends, or we go to visit my brother and my brother-in-law and sister and my great niece Sadie, I'll be using that block and the weather wherever we're staying. There's also a travel block because it is a 12-hour trip between my West Virginia home and the cabin in Michigan, so the weather could be very different between those two places. So I have a special block for travel. I haven't made that one yet. I also have a block for when we stay at our son's house in Oscoda, Michigan, and it turned out pretty well. We were there for 4 days, so there are 4 of those blocks based on the weather at his little lake, Cedar Lake, only about a mile and a half from Huron, Lake Huron. Much different weather than here, so the colors will be much different. I do have, last time I talked to you, I said I was going to sit and color, so I do have most of the blocks for February colored and ready to go, and it just takes a little time. So hopefully I will have made some progress next time I see you. The 6th topic. Yeah, I said 6. You didn't even realize I'd talked about 6 topics. Recently, some of the YouTube creators that I watch, they've been showing off their studios, so I'm going to show you my studio. Here it is. It's a ring light on an arm. And the great thing about the ring light on the arm, it folds up and fits in this fantastic portable box that can be taken to any location. If there is some place I can plug into electricity, I can turn on the ring light and I am ready to go. Now there are some other things stored in here too, like a green screen curtain, so I can do green screen and extra effects like I did with the Scrap Monster way back in like episode 4. I love playing with the green screen, but don't have too many occasions to do that. Maybe I'll quilt on the moon someday, just to show you what I mean. So here it all is, ready to go at a moment's notice. My portable studio, and that's what I call this box. My husband laughs that I call it that. And I have my production schedule notebook in there, which is just this little spiral notebook that I scribble things in too. So yeah, I'm organized. I didn't write lesson plans for all those years for nothing. I learned how to make lists of things to do, things that we needed to accomplish. And now it's easy because, well, I don't have so much to do. Anyway, my portable studio, folks. There it is. I forgot to mention the UFO quilt. I have been working on, for February, I joined a UFO quilt finish project. They drew a number in the Hale Quilt Guild, and this was the project that I needed to finish. We made detailed lists, so this only needs to be made into a top. I had some of these blocks finished, and I had one partially assembled. I had some cut out. I was one short of a square finish, so I had to cut out the one that's in the center, the nice bright yellow one. I think that this will be my charity quilt for next year, which will be after July, unless I get it done early, and then I'll do 2 charity quilts for this year. I like the way these colors are so bright. It could be for a boy or a girl. It's coming along nicely. I also like the way the colors form a secondary 4-patch. Very bright, very colorful. And I have tons of the yellow to put on the back. It will be fantastically bright. Hopefully that will be done by the time I see you next Friday too. That leads me into my last 2 little thoughts. One is my Sadie's doll quilt that I'm working on with the Upskill Monday videos on machine applique. So the first week I made the center of this little quilt, and then last week I did 3 of the 4 corners on the machine applique Upskill Monday. I need to make a 4th corner, and then I will assemble this little quilt and hopefully take it to her at Easter time for her dolls, because she loves tucking her dolls in at night, and her teddy bears and all kinds of, and they all have names. So special little shout out to my great niece Sadie, because she does watch these videos, which I think is fantastic. Hi Sadie. I'm sure she's watching now. Anyway, that leads me to the last and final topic of the day. I have one more machine applique upskill video, and then we will start on the hand applique. Oh, and there's lots of ways to do hand applique. Lots. It's amazing how many ways there are to do hand applique, and you'll have to pick your favorite. I tried all kinds of different ways before I decided some just were not for me, and other ones I was amazed and shocked that, because I'd put off doing hand applique for so long, I wish I had started sooner. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, last machine applique process on Monday. Last one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.